Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a massive, absolute game changer in the tech industry. Look, if you're a student training to be a junior cybersecurity pro, maybe a pen tester, or even a dev looking to switch careers, I've got some pretty brutal news for you. That entry-level job you're studying so hard for? Yeah, it basically doesn't exist anymore. The traditional junior pen tester, the person launching automated scans and spending all day writing up word reports, is completely dead, buried by AI. But hey, do not panic. Because what comes next is actually infinitely more fascinating and honestly, way more lucrative, as long as you know exactly where to look. So let's just dive right in.
Right off the bat, we've got to talk about this completely crazy contradiction in the market right now. On one side, you've got these global official reports from places like ISC2 screaming that there's a worldwide shortage of 4 million cybersecurity professionals. 4 million! They're calling it a massive crisis. But then, you look at reality. You have thousands of fresh grads sending out like 500 CVs and getting absolutely zero replies. Crickets. It makes no logical sense, right? If we are so desperately short on hands, why on earth is nobody hiring juniors?
Well, the answer is just 2 letters. AI. Artificial intelligence has systematically destroyed the entry-level learning layer of this entire industry. Today, we're going to break down exactly how this went down. We'll cover the death of the junior, the collapse of the whole time-based economic model, something called the horse paradox, the incredible power of logic, and finally, how you can actually survive all this by becoming a centaur.
Section 1. The death of the junior pentester and how AI ate the bottom of the ladder.
So to really get where we're at, we have to look back at, say, 2020. The whole life of a junior was built on this apprenticeship model. You'd join a firm fresh out of school, and they'd basically hand you all the dirty work. You'd launch a scan using some popular testing tool, wait 4 hours, and then sift through 500 pages of results just to filter out the false positives. You weren't really allowed to dig deep into the application's actual logic. Nope. Instead, you spent 3 days just copying and pasting screenshots into a Word doc. It was super tedious, but it was highly profitable for the agency. They billed you out at 600 or 700 euros a day while paying you peanuts. And honestly, it was a sandbox for you. Sifting through all that mud was how you eventually learned to spot the gold. But fast forward to today, generative AI just came in and completely kicked that anthill over. Tools now have their own built-in AI modules. Autonomous agents are doing that entire sorting job in literally minutes. And tomorrow, AI tools are already generating full executive tone reports with context, proofs, recommendations, the whole shebang. Drafting time is slashed by 5, sorting time by 10.
Just put yourself in the shoes of an agency boss for a second. Why in the world would you hire a slow junior, spend 6 whole months training them while they make mistakes, only to have them quit a year later? Especially when you can just pay 200 euros a month for a software license. That AI does the exact same work of 3 juniors 24/7, and it never complains or asks for a lunch break. It's brutal, but AI simply ate the bottom of the ladder.
Section 2. The end of the time-based model and the economic collapse of time-based billing.
Now, this brings us to a massive, kind of hidden consequence of all this. It's not just the intern getting replaced, the entire economic consulting model is collapsing. See, traditionally, agencies worshipped the daily average rate, or time and materials billing. The pitch to the client was simple. Hey, we need 5 junior days and 2 senior days, so we're billing you for 7 days. The underlying assumption there was that time equals quality. But AI just blew that equation entirely to pieces. Think about it. If an AI agent completes a full, perfect pen test in 4 hours instead of 5 days, an agency can't honestly build for 5 days anymore. But if they only build for 4 hours, they go bankrupt. They lose 90% of their revenue. So they're being forced into this entirely new model, value-based pricing. They sell a fixed-price security audit for, let's say, $5,000, regardless of how long it actually takes to do. In this new model, speed equals profit. Because of that, there is absolutely zero financial room for a slow-learning junior. Agencies only want AI-augmented seniors who can blitz through missions in record time. This is exactly why we're seeing these massive hiring freezes for entry-level roles right now. And man, this economic reality is causing immense anxiety on forums and Discord servers for new grads. They just spent 5 years getting a master's degree only to run face-first into a pretty terrifying historical parallel.
Section 3. The horse paradox. The brutal reality of technological obsolescence.
So this concept comes from a researcher at Anthropic named Ann Jones, and it is a terrifying but incredibly necessary historical comparison. The idea of the horse paradox perfectly sums it up. It basically points out that technical progress might seem steady and manageable for a long time, but obsolescence? Obsolescence hits you like a brick wall.
Just think about it. For literally 200 years, steam engines steadily improved. And during all that time, horses didn't care. They still had plenty of work pulling carts and plows. But then, a tipping point was reached. Between 1930 and 1950, 90% of horses simply vanished from the economy. 90%. The exact same thing happened in chess. For years, computers improved linearly, but humans still won. Then, in this tiny window of about 10 years, humans went from winning 90% of the time to getting completely crushed. So here's the crucial takeaway. If you're a junior relying purely on technical execution right now, you are not the steam engine. You are a horse in 1920.
Section 4. The power of logic and finding AI's fatal blind spot. The good news? You do not have to be obsolete. The secret here is to stop trying to be a robot. Look, AI is incredibly good at finding technical flaws. It knows literally every published vulnerability. It spots syntax errors, broken code, SQL injections. It sees them instantly. But AI has one massive, fatal weakness. It lacks a theory of mind. It does not understand business intent. And that is exactly where business logic flaws come in. These happen when the code is technically perfect, no crashes, green lights across the board, but the sequence of actions allows something the business never ever anticipated. Humans excel at finding these because we actually understand context.
Let me show you a beautiful example of this. Picture an e-commerce site. An AI scans all the input fields, finds nothing wrong, and declares the whole site completely secure. But then a human comes along. You see a jacket for, say, $1,337, but you only have $100. So you add it to your cart, but you intercept the network request right before it reaches the server. You spot the price parameter in the code, change that $1,337 to just 1 single cent, and let the request go through. The server, it accepts it without a second thought. Now, for an AI, this transaction returns a standard 200 OK status code. No technical error occurred. It looks totally valid. But for a human, we know this is fraud. We know this is straight-up theft. You're searching for flaws in the design, not just the code. AI is way too literal for this. It completely lacks human intuition.
And here is another real-world scenario from a recent pen test report that absolutely blew my mind. It's known as an inventory denial attack. In this case, an AI scanned a super popular ticketing website for 24 uninterrupted hours and reported 0 critical vulnerabilities. Technically speaking, the site was flawless.
But then, a human pen tester stepped in and noticed a specific business rule. When you add a ticket to your cart, it gets reserved for 15 minutes, so you have time to pay. That's a feature, right? Not a bug. So the human wrote a really simple 10-line script. It created 5,000 different user sessions, added a ticket to each cart, and then, this is the brilliant part, at the 14-minute mark, it emptied and re-added the tickets to reset the timer. The result? To the outside world, the entire concert was completely sold out. The company was losing tens of thousands of dollars an hour in potential revenue. Technically, there was no exploit. Functionally, the business was completely destroyed. An AI doesn't understand the concept of frustrated customers or lost revenue. It just sees a button that says Add to Cart. When you can execute something like this, you aren't just a technical tester anymore. You're a business risk consultant.
Section 5. Becoming a centaur. Your blueprint for survival and success.
Here's the bottom line. You cannot beat the machine, so you absolutely must merge with it. You need to become a centaur, half human, half AI. First, embrace the AI. Build powerful, isolated virtual labs that run 24/7. Use basic automation tools like NNN to handle all the boring stuff and let the AI do your heavy lifting in the background. Second, direct all of your human energy into hunting those business logic flaws. Hack the business intent, not just the code. And third, and this is massive, master human communication. Sure, AI can generate a wall of text, but looking a chief information security officer in the eye and explaining exactly why a vulnerability threatens their quarterly revenue, that requires human empathy, negotiation, and nuance. And that is massive added value.
The bar has officially been raised. We used to need people to lay bricks. Now machines lay the bricks, and we need architects. Yes, it requires much more effort at the start, but the career waiting for you on the other side is incredibly exciting. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, keep adapting, and I'm going to leave you with this final thought to ponder. As this industry rapidly transforms around us, will you stubbornly remain the horse, or will you step up, leverage the technology, and become the steam engine?